Homage to Catalonia is a 1938 memoir by the British author George Orwell, recounting his involvement in the Spanish Civil War of 1936 to 1939. George Orwell was a pseudonym which he adopted on the publication of his first book. His real name was Eric Blair. For the purposes of this short video, we'll stick with the pen name. Born in 1903 in what's now eastern India, his family moved back to Britain when he was 2, and he attended Eton before becoming a policeman in Burma, an experience which turned him decisively against the British Empire. When he returned to Britain again in 1927, he decided to become a writer. Initially, he wanted to write social criticism, and he spent a long period investigating deprivation in the East End of London and in France, collecting material for his first book, Down and Out in Paris and London, which was published in 1933. Over the next 4 years, he published 3 novels and another work of non-fiction. The latter, The Road to Wigan Pier, converted him, he said, to socialism. The Spanish Civil War broke out in July 1936. Orwell sent the final draft of Wigan Pier off to his publisher in December of that year, then set off for Spain. The Civil War had begun when the left-wing Republicans, a coalition of Marxists, Social Democrats, liberals and anarchists, won a narrow victory in the country's general election. Nationalist forces, led by General Franco, then launched an all-out attack on the elected government. The conflict became a rehearsal for World War II, with Stalin aiding the Republicans and Hitler and Mussolini aiding the nationalists. Orwell's involvement began in Barcelona, the capital of the northeastern coastal region of Catalonia, where he immediately noticed that there was a real sense of egalitarianism amongst the workers. He'd come to think of himself as a socialist after writing Wigan Pier, but Barcelona convinced him that it was no mere pipe dream. A new world seemed to be emerging. And yet, in the longer term, his involvement was to end in disillusion and failure. In chapter 1, he describes his provisional hopes. In the next 6 chapters, he fights on the front line, possibly kills 2 nationalists, and almost gets killed himself. He arrives back in Barcelona at the end of chapter 7 to find a changed situation. The Stalinists are attempting to arrest anyone who isn't a Stalinist, and street fighting's broken out. Orwell returns to the front, where he's wounded by a sniper. After spending time in hospital, where he may have contracted the tuberculosis that later killed him, he learns that things in Barcelona are going from bad to worse. He and his wife escaped the country by crossing the Pyrenees. He was later tried for treason in his absence. The Republicans surrendered to Franco on the 1st of April 1939. As well as being an important personal account of a major historical event, Homage to Catalonia was a defining text in Orwell's intellectual development. His later novels, Animal Farm and 1984, were passionate warnings against the evils of Stalinism. What's even more interesting is that when he got back to Britain, he found it difficult to interest a publisher. Many of the left-leaning candidates were fans of Soviet Russia and didn't want to rock the boat. He later wrote, "One of the dreariest effects of this war has been to teach me that the left-wing press is every bit as spurious and dishonest as that of the right." Perhaps Homage to Catalonia's most enduring lesson is that while faith in a cause can be a good thing, blind faith never is. Reassessment is an ongoing practical and moral obligation.